Hello everyone. In today's session, we are going to discuss IFRS 16 leases and its accounting in SAP and the basic configurations required for IFRS 16 in SAP. Let's begin with understanding the basic journal entries required under IFRS 16, that is leases. So the first entry that we required is for asset capitalization, as under leases, IFRS says that for every lease we need to capitalize asset. So the first entry is we will debit the asset account, that is ROU, that is right to asset account, and similarly credit the asset clearing account. Now the clearing account is for we maintain it for SAP, but in reality what we do is debit asset account and credit lease liability account. This asset is debited with the present value of the lease payment over the period we are making. Fine. The second journal entry is of lease liability posting. So the second journal entry would be crediting our lease liability account while debiting the asset clearing account. So automatically this asset clearing account would be cleared. The third entry is interest expense. As with the interest, we find with that capitalization rate, we find the present value of asset and liabilities to credit and debit respectively. So now the third entry would be of interest expense account. We need to book the interest expense yearly or monthly. So what will be the entry? The entry would be interest expense that would be debited under P&L account, and interest liability would be credited. So this will increase my lease liability. The fourth is a clearing payment account. So the payment, what entry would we will do while payment and while making the payment would be the fourth entry, that is monthly or yearly or quarterly, whatever the lease liability payment that we have decided to give it to our vendor, that would be our lease liability would be debited, as this would be the part of our liability account. Our lease liability would be debited and the credited entry would go to lease clearing account. Now while making the payment to vendor or while making the due entry to vendor's account, the entry would be this 10,000 would be credited. Now it will also credit our input tax, as our payment would be liable to input tax. So similarly my input tax account would be would be debited and my vendor account would be credited. So this I need to make the payment of rupees 11,800 to vendor. Now the last entry would be of depreciation, as we have booked ROU asset. So the depreciation entry would be accumulated depreciation account. Credit to my depreciation account would be debit, and this depreciation would be my expense, and this accumulated depreciation would be part of my asset. Fine. These are just the basic accounting entries that we are required to do while maintaining IFRS 16. Now, how the basic configurations in SAP that are required to maintain IFRS 16 are: first, we need to maintain proper configuration for asset accounting. Then we need to make configurations for real estate management, that is REFX in SAP. And lastly, what we need to do is to create asset and create proper contract account. So let's start with the Asset configuration. We have already discussed the asset configuration in our previous video. You can refer that video because everything is related. Only few changes that we are going to make, I would be highlighting those in this video. So let's begin. Let's directly go to our SAP Easy Access screen. So this is my Easy Access screen. We shall be doing the asset configurations first. Let's go to my reference IMG screen. Now here we have financial accounting. Under financial accounting, we have asset accounting. So under asset accounting, the first thing that we need to do is to maintain a depreciation area. We are just going through our asset video only. You can refer that for more details. So we already have a depreciation area. My chart of depreciation is D011. I'm just maintaining depreciation area for my leading ledger. I'm not having any non-leading ledger. I have kept it very simplified because this example we need to focus on lease accounting and not on asset accounting. So under my book depreciation, what I need to do, we have already assigned the accounting principle. Now what I need to do is this interest, we need to check on all values allowed. Earlier, when we were doing normal asset accounting, we just took only positive or zero value, or we were actually not maintaining any value to it. But now, if we need to maintain lease accounting, we have to check this. Now, the second step is similar. The second thing that we do is assign under journal valuation, depreciation area. We need to specify transfer of asset value, APC values. So let's see that. As I'm maintaining only one book depreciation, so I don't need to specify any rules for it. The second important thing is to specify transfer of depreciation terms. These are all steps of asset configuration. We have already covered it, but we are just discussing as this is very important for lease accounting as well. Then we need to create an asset class. Now this asset class is for right to use asset that is used under lease accounting. So for asset class, we need to maintain three important things, that is account determination, number range, and screen layout. So under the organization structure, we have asset class. Now specify account determination. I have already created an account determination. We already have account determination. So this 60,000 leasing is our account determination. Then we have maintained our screen layout. A screen layout for leases. And then we have to define asset class. I have already defined an asset class. So under my asset class, I have linked my account determination, my screen layout rule, that is S500. Then my number range is 42. The status of AUC is no AUC, no summary management accounting. Rest everything is same. So I have created one asset class, a separate asset class for leases. We can see the screen layout rule by just going back. So under master data, we have screen layout. Define screen layout for asset master data. So as we are already maintaining S5, we will just see the configurations or what the logical fields groups we have it under the screen layout leasing. So it is all similar to normal assets. It's just that we need to focus on this leasing part, as this leasing would these data would be very important in order to maintain the lease assets. So now we have already created our asset class. So the next thing we do is to link our GL accounts. Now, what GL accounts we are required in order to maintain asset class under leasing? Let's discuss that. So first, what we need under balance sheet accounts, we need ROU asset, that is right to use asset. We need accumulated depreciation. We need asset clearing account, lease liability account, lease clearing account, our vendor account, and input tax account. Similar way, profit and loss account, we need to create few depreciation account, then interest expense account. In case we are selling that asset, it will, if we are selling it on loss, then we need to create a loss on sale of asset. If we are selling it on profit, then profit on sale. And if we are just scrapping it, then scrap sale. So all these accounts we need to create, and all the asset relevant account we need to align the GLs while doing configurations under asset accounting. So under asset accounting, now the integration part is left, integration with GL accounting. What we need to do is to assign GL accounts. So our chart of depreciation is already there. So under this, we got an option for to choose asset. We'll choose our asset, that is leasing. So our account determination is leasing. So under leasing, we have already linked our account. So we have linked our right to use asset, asset clearing account we have linked, then scrap asset, profit on sale of asset, and loss on sale of asset. So these are just accounts that we required to assign. I have only assigned the required in my example, the accounts that are required in my example. The next thing is we need to assign the accounts for depreciation. So I have already created these accounts. So I've linked all my accounts here. The important thing here is to assign the interest account. So in case of lease asset accounting, we need to assign expense account for interest as well as the clearing interest posting account. So I have done that also. So now we have assigned our GL account. The next thing is to see the depreciation. Uh, Now we have ordinary depreciation, special depreciation, unplanned depreciation, and as leasing assets are generally are generally depreciated over the period of the lease period. So the depreciation we would do is just ordinary depreciation, and in ordinary depreciation also we would be just assigning the normal depreciation, that is useful life depreciation. So after these basic configuration, if you want to see all the asset related configurations in details, you can also refer our video on asset accounting. Now let's go quickly and create a master data for our lease asset. So AS01 is a transaction code for creating the asset. Let's find first I need to change my company code DO11. So my asset class would be DO11LA. Enter. Okay, so let's create a machinery on lease. Here we can maintain our inventory number, the quantity of machines that we are buying, last inventory note, capitalized on. So I will just capitalize on 01.01/2023. Plant retirement on, you can just mention this also. For 2 years, we are keeping the period for 2 years. So 31.12.2024. Time dependent, we need to add the cost center. Okay, the controlling area we need to change. Then we can mention the plant using the machinery, the location, the room, functional area, segments, profit center. As I have mentioned the cost center, they will automatically pick the profit center and segment as everything is linked. Then origin. This is the most important area, leasing, because this is my leasing asset. Now for that, what we need to do, we need to maintain a leasing vendor. I'm maintaining a leasing vendor. Similarly, the leasing vendor, we create the leasing vendor through BP, but for making BP role, there is the specific business partner role, that is TR0604, partner with vendor account. When we will uh, lend this BP role to TR0604, automatically this will fall for leasing accounting or real estate management, REFX. Okay, so this is very important thing that we should keep in mind. So back to our asset master data creation, we have to add the vendor. The next thing we need to do is to give an agreement number. The agreement date would be 01.01/2023. Lease start notice date would be 31.12.2024. Lease start date would be, again, the length would be of 2 years. Now the type is of course capital lease. Now number of lease is 24. Payment cycle we would give 1. Lease payment is 10,000 and annual rate is 10. Lease on machinery, I would just copy this. And as I entered, automatically it calculated the present value, that is 216.708 for my asset. Okay, so by this amount, my asset will get capitalized. Let's see the depreciation area. It has already linked my depreciation key, and my useful life is 2 years. We'll just save it, and I have created my asset number 103. So this is how we create our ROU asset for lease accounting. Now the next video shall be for the basic configuration we would be required to do under REFX, that is real estate management, flexible real estate management. Thank you all for listening. Have a really good day.